Welcome back to the Lady Icon Life podcast. This is the space where bold women build beautiful brands and bankable businesses with precision, with presence, and with power. I'm Coco Guerin, your unapologetic permission slip to stop waiting and start building something iconic. Today, we are going to get real about the most dangerous traps I see women fall into when building their brand. And I'm going to be honest, these are also traps that I fell prey to myself. We're naming them, we're calling them out, and in doing so, we are freeing ourselves from them. Because, spoiler alert, ready is a myth. Perfect is a myth. That idea of waiting until you're ready is the biggest trap of them all. And it's one that I kept myself stuck in for so long. These feelings that other people are already doing it, so I can't do it. Or I'm in my late 30s, the time to do this was in my late 20s. All of those were ideas that I fed to myself over and over again until I was finally able to break free from that trap. And we're going to talk about how you can do that as well. So these traps, let's talk about why they matter. Let's start with a big old truth bomb. Your brand doesn't exist to make you look good. I know that one was really hard for me. Part of my fear of being ready was being the face of my business and being scared to put myself out there in that way, because we all want ourselves to be presented in a good light. We all want to feel perfect and good. It is a feminine archetype that I want to free myself from, and I want you to free yourself from. Great brands don't exist for the brand owner to feel good about themselves. It exists to make your clients feel something, to feel seen, to feel heard, to feel connected. So if you're stuck in these traps, you are not just slowing yourself down, but you're confusing your audience. You're repelling them because nobody wants perfect, because no one can be perfect. And trying to aspire to this idea of perfection is what keeps us all trapped in that loop, or even keeping them from knowing that you can help them, that you have an answer, that you have an experience that might be like hers or might have a parallel that can help her. So let's fix that together. All right. Trap number one, that idea of waiting until you're ready. This is the big one. Women especially get stuck in this cycle of waiting to feel more confident, waiting to have the perfect logo, the perfect photo shoot, waiting for the right time. But here is the truth. Ready is not a destination. It is a decision. No one feels ready. Not the first time, not even the 100th time. Ready is often just code for safe. And businesses, brand building, that impact, those don't live in safety. They live in motion. Clarity is the reward for moving, not the prerequisite. You don't get that unless you have something that is in motion. This is so pivotal because it is that decision that you are going to put yourself out there, that you are going to try, that you are going to take the big, scary leap into the abyss of public opinion and do it for the most noble reason, which is that you have a product or a service or an experience that was so impactful for you that you feel drawn to use that to help others, to help them improve themselves, to help them overcome something, to help them find and live their most beautiful, authentic life. That is what we are all trying to do. And authenticity comes from having that emotional vulnerability front and center that we all can understand and relate to, not feeling ready or feeling scared, not wanting to have it not work, not wanting to not look good, not wanting to not be perfect. Cycle over and over again oh, that was bad lighting, or I have a double chin at some point in there, or that's not exactly the color palette I want, or that wasn't where the comma should go. All of those things just prevent us from creating, which is how we can reach our customers, how we can reach the people that we want to help. You're building this brand for freedom for yourself, but also freedom for them, for your ideal client. You have a unique ability, a unique point of view, a unique experience, but that doesn't mean that it won't resonate with them. And you being clear and honest and vulnerable and imperfect is what makes that connection. That is the feminine soft sales that sells and converts. So if that's ringing true to you, I have a little action for you. I want you to pause and ask yourself, truly, what are you waiting for? Write it down. And then you can ask yourself, what is one move that you do feel comfortable making today? It can be a small move. It could be one talking head video. It could be one post. You can take one step so that the scary part is over, because it's the first step. It's the first anticipation, being on that precipice that prevents us from conquering it so that we can move forward. So what is that one step you can take today to start your business in motion? Trap number 2. Oh, this was the worst one for me. I did this so hard. Mimicking instead of aligning. All right, here's another big trap. So often, because we want to be successful, because we want it to work so badly, we copy what seems successful instead of building what's true for you. This doesn't mean that you can't follow the breadcrumbs of success and look at what other people in your area are doing or that you admire are doing and create something akin to it. Get inspiration from it. Follow a formula that is proven to be successful. No, but straight copying, that is the trap that we really want to save ourselves from doing, because you and your uniqueness and your point of view and your tone of voice is what is going to get you conversions. When you mimic, you dilute your voice, you confuse your audience, you feel disconnected from your own brand. That last one is exactly what I was doing. When I started building Lady Icon Life, I looked at what others had done that were successful in the business coaching arena, and I basically built exactly what they built. But it didn't feel like me because it wasn't. It wasn't a woman that likes to wear, her little scarf tied around her neck and goes with her 3 Cavalier King Charles Spaniels on her little scooter. It was more rigid and corporate and cold, which is really what I wanted to run away from, because I wanted to create a soft, inviting experience, because that is who I am as a nurturer, as a person. And it felt so inauthentic to me, but I thought it looked good because it looked like what others who were successful were doing. And when I finally pulled the trigger and had the realization, I knew I was going to have to go back and redo my website, my social media, my color palette, everything. But once I did that and I shared it with my friends and family, the response I got was overwhelming. Like, yes, this feels like you. This is what, if I landed on it, I would know was Coco. And that is such a powerful tool. Not having it be a revised and regurgitated shadow, a ghost of someone else's success, but finding your voice and your tone and your iconic self inside your brand so that you can promote that. Your clients, they don't want the industry standard, because that stuff has been remixed so many times. I could be Jenny from the block. She wants you. Quirks, your vibe, your value. The thing about icons is that they don't blend in. They own the room with intention, because authenticity isn't a strategy. It is what actually works long term. And I can feel so much energy from you guys listening to this right now, nodding your heads and kind of looking like, oh, but it's so much easier to follow a map. Having your tone, your uniqueness, your experience, the quirks of who you are shining through. So take this as your next action. Audit your brand. Ask yourself, where am I mimicking instead of showing up as myself? And think about what it would look like if you just let your freak flag fly. If you owned your differences, if you turned them into an iconic idea of who you are. Similar to like the gap in Madonna's teeth, right? That smile being so iconic. Or the beauty mark of Marilyn Monroe, that beauty mark being so iconic. The things that people might want to change if they could have. Barbra Streisand's famous discussion about why she would not get a nose job. Because it's her. Because it is a celebration of her history, of her culture, of her past, of who she is. So audit your brand and see how you can celebrate yourself. Trap number 3, inconsistency and confusion. All right, this is the final one, but a big one, inconsistency. Your brand is a trust building machine. If your visuals, your voice, and your offers are all over the place, it creates emotional dissonance. Confused people don't buy. Your goal is not to be everything to everyone. It's to be clear, cohesive, and aligned so that your right person, your $1 million client, they know instantly, oh, she's the one who can help me. Consistency isn't boring. It's safe and it's what sells. It is what converts. When people know exactly who you are and what you're about, they can very easily decide if you are for them or not. And so therefore, you don't waste time nurturing leads in a community that are not your ideal client. So open your Instagram, your sales page, your website, and ask yourself these questions. Would my ideal client know what I do in 3 seconds? Does it feel like a single cohesive vibe? Is it a mirror showing her she belongs here? That last one is key. That's what we are all striving to do, to be a mirror for each other so that we can see ourselves more clearly in their work, in your work. So the big reframe, ready, is a myth. Let me leave you with this. There is no ready. There is only willing to be seen, willing to try, willing to learn in public, willing to take messy action and refine as you go. Because the woman who waits to be ready stays invisible. The woman who acts before she feels ready, she becomes ready. She evolves in real time. She builds trust, not because she's perfect, but because she's real. And that connection, that emotional vulnerability, that is what resonates with your ideal client. That is what will have them convert, build trust, and come back to you again and again because you are a safe place for them to also be their authentic self. Today, I want you to take one unready action. Post the offer, show your face, DM someone, share an idea, and say this to yourself as a mantra. Ready is a myth. I'm moving anyway. If this episode hit you in the gut, good. I had that moment myself. But use this as your signal. This is the work. This is the moment. Don't let the traps and self-doubt win. And if you want to go deeper into building a brand that actually sells, check out my free masterclass, Styled to Sell. I made it for you all for free so that you can see the building blocks that you can start to create to get that momentum, to jettison yourself forward. I will show you exactly how to turn your brand presence into trust and conversions without sacrificing who you are. to use that as the asset it is. So if you guys want access, please go to ladyiconlife.com or go to Instagram, DM me styled, and I will send you the link personally. Until next time, stay soft, stay strategic, stay iconic. I know you already are.